Hey, what's up, everyone? We've had a good day today. I hope you've had a good day as well. But in terms of trading, we got over goal. We've had a green day. We've had not just a good green day over goal, but we are 3 times goal today. So our daily goal is $5,000. If you're new to the stream, I target myself on a $5,000 daily gain on average across the year. And today we've had over $15,500, so $15,695 to be precise. So a really good day. It doesn't cover the full drawdown from what we lost on Monday, but it goes a healthy way to cover some of that at least. So I mean that's 25% in the one day. If we can have 4 days like that, then we're back at all-time highs, and we've got 5 more trading days left on the month. So there is a chance. I'm not saying that we're going to have big days like this every day, and I'm certainly not going to be swinging for the fences in case we do. I'm going to be very disciplined, and I think that was one of the big differences today. Was I was very disciplined in my trading. I didn't take any unnecessary risks. I didn't take any swings, big size, that were unwarranted. I was very patient in terms of waiting for the trades to come along. And when I took a trade and it didn't go my way, I cut it very quickly. So I was very disciplined, definitely going back to basics. And I think that helped a huge amount today. It wouldn't have surprised me if the way I have been trading, as aggressive as I have been trading, I could have probably made twice as much as I have done today, based on the moves that the stocks that I traded made. However, I could have also lost an equal amount, if not more, based on the swings that they had. So the discipline on the risk management, on the trade selection, was key today. Just going back to basics and being a little bit more patient, a little bit calmer in when it comes to trading. I think it did help that we were over goal before the bell rang, and we traded Bed Bath & Beyond before the bell rang. It had dropped news that it had acquired a loan to service some of its liquidity issues, and on the back of that, loan granted approval, the stock surged, and we were able to take advantage of that. So there was some good trade setups. There was some good trades across the course of the day. We traded 4 stocks. 3 winners, one loser, small loser. Far-fetched, we lost it. Although it moved well intraday, I lost $225 on that. We made over $6,000 on Bed Bath & Beyond. We made over $1,700 on GigaCloud Technology, and we made almost $8,000 on Minerva Bioscience. So all in all, a really good day. Over 15,500 in fact today. So let's get into it and have a look at how that happened, shall we? Okay, so I'm allowed to trade from 7:30, which is 2 hours before the market opened, based on my brokerage permissions. And 7:30 this morning, we got the news broke at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock market time, and it started to move up. Bed Bath & Beyond moved up. So I was already watching this on the scanners. I'd already checked the news. I'd already reported it in the Discord. The top 4 that were on my watch list, which were Bed Bath & Beyond, Farfetched, Minerva, and Starbucks, which was an IPO yesterday. Now, we didn't trade Starbucks, but we traded the other 3. So those 4 on my watch list that I reported in the Discord, not only did we trade them, but we were profitable across the course of those as well. We lost on Farfetched, but we kept that loss very small. So when this moved up, we had the period of consolidation, and it popped up over $10. Then it trading up just under the VWAP as it was coming to the bottom of the hour. It did move up, and as it pulled back, I was then allowed to take some trades, and we moved up. But we traded this on the small account, and we traded this on the large account as well. We traded it first on the small account, and then on this pullback, we got in on the large account as well. We traded this and we held this Whilst I was trading the small account, we were flicking between the two, and I was able to, based on the fact that I was trading the same stock, I was able to keep an eye on the numbers. But traded this all the way up, and it really worked out well for us pre-market, because we were $5,000, nearly $6,000 up pre-market. We traded it all the way up. We added to the position. We're taking good size. We're taking 5.5, 7,500 shares, 2,500 shares. We started off with 2,500 shares. We doubled down. Then we added 10 to 10, took some profits at 2,500 shares off. So it was 7,500 shares. So we were adding and subtracting, locking in gains all the way up. And it was this candle here that we exited the position in the fall. So once we got over $12. We waited for the break of $12. We were actually looking for a continued move up, and then when it broke $12, we got out, but we were a little slow to press the button. There were no stop losses. You can't execute a stop loss. Let's set an automatic stop loss pre-market. They just won't execute. You need an open market for that to happen. So when it broke $12, it actually flushed down quite fast, and I got out here. And unfortunately, I think we left a little bit on the table. We should have got out when it started to break new lows here. We probably should have got out at $12 instead of waiting for it to break $12. But we still made good gains. We did trade it a little bit later. As I say, we were a little over $5,000 up. We traded it a little bit later, so it was around lunchtime. We traded Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond, it did had a push up around lunchtime here, and we were able to trade it here for a little bit profitable there. We got a little over $1,000 on Bed Bath & Beyond, and we were finished at 6,200, so 6,250 I think it was that we finished on Bed Bath & Beyond, and then we traded it in Power Hour. And it didn't quite work for us in Power Hour, so we got in here on this move up, and it then pulled back. We got out. We kept the loss small. We only went in for 1,000 shares, and we got out for 10 cents loss on the share. So it was $100 that we lost on that. So Bed Bath & Beyond was good for us to start off with, and then pretty much. After the open, we didn't trade for half an hour. So there was a lot of chop. There was things moving up, but there was a lot of sideways movement. Things that moved up weren't sustaining. I basically started off, okay, the first 5 minutes, I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to let the first 5 minute candle form. I'm going to watch the scanners, but I'm going to let the first 5 minute candle form before I take any trades. That opening 5 minute range is going to give me an idea of what I should or shouldn't be trading. Now, same was for Bed Bath & Beyond. The same was for NERV. The same was for Ape stock that we traded earlier in the week. Everything was either selling off, or it was just very choppy. It didn't break the opening 5 minute range. So I was very conscious not to just jump in and trade anything. So when we did finally trade something, we traded Farfetched. So Farfetched was moving up really, really nicely, and at the open, that is. So we didn't get in straight away. We were looking at a few other things, and then we started to look like this was moving up at a level that we could get in. We got this this doji here, and the graveyard doji, and then as we made new highs, that's when we got in here. I should have known not to take this with the doji there as well, but I should have known not to take it here. Should have waited for it to actually break the highs before I got in, and I didn't. I actually got in for this candle as it broke the high of the doji instead of breaking new highs, and it kind of faked me out. And as it pulled back, we got out on this candle here, and we lost $225. Not too worried about losing $225. in the grand scheme of things today, because we did then trade Minerva, and Minerva was good to us today. We traded Minerva at the bottom of the hour before we went and took the dog for a walk. Took a quick trade with Minerva, and then we took a dog for a walk about half an hour later. So this moved up very nicely. We managed to get a huge portion of this. So it moved up nicely. Then it started to, we got this double bottom formation here, and this is what I spotted. And it was a bit more pronounced on the higher time frame, the 2 minute time frame. We've got this double bottom here. So I got in here. As we started to make a new, I should have waited. I know I was a little bit premature. I should have waited for the break, but I actually got in here, and I was able to ride this up all the way and make good gains on that as well. And then when it pulled back, got stopped out on this candle, and we watched for this consolidation, pullback and consolidation. I got some more gains on this move before it then started to consolidate, and I got out here before it pulled back. And it then just dumped below the VWAP, and I wasn't in the position at that stage. So I took the dog for a walk. I came back a little bit later and traded this after lunch, and it made really good gains again. So we were able to get in on this and ride this up. I drew this this trend line as well as we were as it was working, so we were able to trade this up. But this is where we got the biggest gain here. We got this double bottom again, W shape, and we got in here, and it made a really good pump. And it was just off this trend line here that I'd drawn as we went up, so a ray line, and we got in there, and it moved all the way up. We were able to ride that up towards. We were looking for $8. Didn't quite get $8. But as it started to pull back, we got out, and it did make a pop up. I made a mistake of buying in here, and it started to pull back. So I got out again there before it then genuinely pulled back. We were watching this again. We traded this move up here, and just wanted to be sure, so I waited for it to break this level here at 790, and I got in at 790. It moved up, it pulled back below 790, but I was giving it 15 cents based on what the average true range was, and it moved all the way up, and we traded it all the way up to the 836, I think was my final. Just let me check here. A final transaction at that level with Minerva. No, 828 was what we got with Minerva. So 828 was up here on this candle, and we got out on the red candle. So good trading. Really, we did trade this a little bit later as well, because we got a little bit more of a quick pop that we managed to get, which was just before power hour, and we finished trading it. So we got this move up. So the big pull but pulled down, and we traded this move up. We got all the way up to the trend line that I drew, and I was able to take profits up there because it wasn't breaking it. It came back. I bought back in for a bounce on this trend line. As you can see, it was kind of adhering to this trend line. So I bought back on the bounce of this trend line. It did pull back, but I held, and we got another double bottom formation, a W formation from the peak here. So that's why I was holding. I felt I would give it to the bottom of this this low here. If it breaks new lows, I'll get out. But as it then started to make new highs, it added to the position and was able to ride this up. So nearly $8,000 on Minerva today. Really traded well. And we did try to trade GigaCloud technology as well, but this was so choppy. It did make a move up, and we managed to get a bit on the move up, which was just before we traded Minerva for the second time. So it was here. We got this move up and we managed to get this pullback, and we got in and we rolled this up. And it was difficult to trade because the spreads and the range of that. So sometimes as I got in here, the spreads were about 20 cents, but they moved up to about 40 cents at the top end. So that's when I got out and I stopped trading it, and I didn't trade it any further as it pulled back. I was looking for the spreads, but it just seemed like they were getting wider, so I didn't trade them. It was very difficult to trade it because of the spreads, and it was a bit unpredictable. The risk was just not worth trying, so I didn't get back in there. But you know, a good $1,800, $1,700 on that move. We had $2,500 share position, so we rolled that up over because of the spreads. We only got 1,800, but we got over $1 move on that, and it was you know, adds to the gains for the day. So $1,600 almost, what, $15,695. Really good day's trading. Really happy with the way I traded today. Back to basics. I wasn't being gung-ho. I wasn't being overly aggressive in terms of share size. I was very patient before I got in. I was looking for confirmation on multiple time frames. I was just, I think patience and discipline today really paid off. And after the big hit to my confidence that I took on Monday, and it does, look, I can pretend as much as I like that, you know, it's just another red day, but it was a big red day on Monday, and it really hit the confidence. And it does, a big day. We lost 40% of our equity position on Monday in a single day. And if you're managing your risk, that should never happen. If you're managing your risk effectively, that should never happen. So I look at my trading today, and at no point, once we got green on the day, at no point did we even look close to going red. We didn't look like we were going to give back any of our gains today. So we were green over goal, and then once we got twice goal, we never looked like going below that again either. So discipline and patience really paid off today, and certainly that's how I'm going to approach it for the remainder of the month. I'm going to be very reserved and patient when it comes to trade selection. I'm going to be disciplined when it comes to risk management. And if it's going against me, I'm just going to cut my loss. I can always re-enter if it does rally and turn around, even if it's essentially the same sentiment of same trade that I'm actually looking at, and I just mistimed the stop loss. So where are we on the month? What does that do to our drawdown? Well, let's look at the statistics, shall we? Let's take a look in Trader View. August, we are having a good month. We're having a really good month. I've just imported my trades. So this is the month of August. And we're now back over goal. Yo-yoing like a yo-yo, actually. So now we're back over goal. So goal is $100,000 gross profit on the calendar month. So we're now $115,000. The average daily gain is $6,400 on a daily basis. If I'm able to maintain that for the next 5 days, I will have my best ever trading month of the year. Not best ever, yeah, possibly even the best ever trading month, because that will 5 days left. We're 115,000. I have to get 167,000, so I would need effectively a little over 50,000 in 5 days. So not quite. I'd need 10,000 a day to achieve my best ever trading day. But certainly I can get back to the highs or equivalent to the highs of where we were before I had that huge drawdown on Monday. I'm not going to be swinging for the fences. I'm just saying it's possible. If we have more volatility like we did today, if we have more stocks that are trading like Minerva and Bed Bath & Beyond did today, then it's relatively easy to make gains on them. And being disciplined, we're not going to give it back, and we're not going to make big losses should that turn against us. If we a lapse in judgment in terms of the entry, or we don't get the pattern breakout for whatever reason, then cutting the losses early is going to save us giving back those gains. So a bit of discipline, a bit of patience, and this $115,000 is just going to grow in the next 5 days. How much it's going to grow? Let's find out. Only one way to find out. Now, in terms of the statistics, the accuracy, we're a little less than 2 to 1, little under 2 to 1 in terms of the trade accuracy on the month. I would have preferred that to be better. And what's letting me down this month is the gains versus loss ratio as well, risk versus reward, if you will. So 380 versus 260. Again, not quite 2 to 1, but it's getting better. And if we continue to have profitable days for the remainder of the month, we could get back to that 2 to 1 ratio. And I think that's a little goal I need to set myself. Now, what does that do to the equity curve? And this is the big thing. So the equity curve here, we've got a hugely volatile equity curve, and this is just bad trading. This is just trading too aggressively, and that's what's causing this. Being too aggressive, not being patient and disciplined, being overly aggressive in terms of sizing, and jumping in trades before they're actually due to do that. Yes, it's great when we can get these big moves up, but we also get the big moves down, and that's something that I don't want to do again. So we've made a bit of an inroads into the drawdown. We're still, after today, $45,000 in the hole. Can we recover that on the month in 5 days? I think that will be very difficult. That would be a $9,000 gain per day. We've seen we've done 15,500 today, so it is possible, but I don't want to push myself. I'm going to continue to push myself at goal $5,000 a day. So if I can get $25,000 between now and the end of the month, I'll be taking a drawdown into September, and I'll be taking some time off at the beginning of September. So that means that September is going to be a little bit more of a difficult month when I come back and start trading again. But that being said, the goals don't change on September. So if I go back to the numbers here, let's look at where we are on the year. So the goal for August is 100,000. We're already over goal. That doesn't mean that I'm going to have, because of the drawdown, a higher goal in September to recover the drawdown. It just means that I'll be trying to recover that drawdown to get to my year highs throughout September by just trading September and looking to get 100,000. Now, September is going to be a little bit difficult because I'm taking the vacation. But if we don't trade for the rest of this month and we had a $75,000 September, that would have us at annual goal at the end of September. So the goal to be at the end of September is to be at 900,000. So if I can get a bit of an advantage, a bit of a buffer in August, 824,000, 825, let's round it up a little bit, 825,000 at the moment. If we can get to $5,000 a day on average for the remainder of this month, that'll take us to 850. That takes the pressure off us in September to get to 900,000 by the end of September. It means we don't have to have a $100,000 month, given that I won't be trading the whole month. I'm taking some time off. So it means that we have to have a $50,000 month. I could effectively take the first 2 weeks instead of just the first week of September off. And hopefully, by being disciplined and trading within the strategy and being patient, that $5,000 average for the rest of the month will give us that buffer on the beginning of September. So we're in a very good place. If I look at my statistics for the year, as opposed to August, the comparison, 1.6 million versus 1.6 million in gains across the course of the year versus 800K in losses. So that's a 2 to 1 ratio. 68 versus 31, so that's a little better than a 2 to 1 in terms of the trade accuracy. The equity P&L, the equity curve here, it's steady increasing throughout the throughout the year, and just we want to get back to these highs. We were up at 869 at one stage in August, so it's going to take us a while to get there, but we will get there. Of course we will. We've got to get beyond 1.2 million is the actual goal for trade profit, which will give us the 7-figure net profit goal, and that's where we are. So what are we doing now? Okay, we're about to finish up here and start again tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. If you want to join me live, we'll be trading from 2 hours before the market opens at 7:30 market time, so 12:30 my time in Dublin. But we'll start streaming live on YouTube, on Twitch, on ShareVision, on Twitter, and on TikTok. So whichever platform you follow me on, come join me tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. We'll do it all again, and hopefully we'll have just as good a green day tomorrow and Friday as we've had today. I look forward to seeing you then. See you soon.